Hey guys, Sen here. Right now in the clan capital, everyone and their moms can two-shot just about every base using graveyard spam, except Dragon Cliffs. Being able to consistently two-shot Dragon Cliffs, especially those really annoying spread-out ones, is what separates the pretty good clans versus the ones at the top of the global leaderboard. I've done a few videos on Dragon Cliffs and Inferno Dragons in the past, but this is still my most requested video topic because this is the district that gives a lot of people the most trouble. So I thought I'd do some live hits for you guys this time and break apart these bases. Let's get into it. Alright, I know I said we were going to do some live hits, but unfortunately I forgot to hit record on this first one, which is so tragic because it was so good. But we're going to have to watch this anyways because it was just that good. Starting off, we zapped down those left two dragon posts that are super interior inside the base, drop some rams up the right side, test for some zap traps, open up the wall, and then a giant and an inferno dragon to tank the defenses and then melt through that first enemy super dragon. Because we zapped down those left side posts, those dragons can now fly on over towards this inferno dragon that's still alive and those rocket balloons that are clearing this section. And once they get close to a place where I can spawn my troops, I drop down a ram to help distract and another Inferno Dragon to melt down this dragon, and then that dragon from before is going to go over with the help of that barb distracting to melt through a third enemy super dragon. So we've only dropped down 2 Inferno Dragons so far, and we have melted through 3 enemy dragons. Now I'm going to wait for this dragon over here to fly closer towards the cliff's edge, and when it does, we'll drop down a ram towards this wall, go towards this little hut over here, and then drag this dragon on out to where there's no air defense fire over here. And then once it does, we'll drop down our next Inferno Dragon to melt through it. I actually mess up the barb timing, and my dragon gets locked on earlier than I expected, but he still wins the battle and is able to take out a 4th enemy super dragon. Now we set our sights up north with a ram, a barbarian, and some rocket balloons because there's only 2 dragons left on the map, and we have 3 Inferno Dragons left in those camps. We're going to drop down a barb once this dragon flies close towards this top right side, and then in another Inferno Dragon to melt through it, and then a rocket balloon to take out this spear thrower. And then once this super dragon gets pulled up north away from the cover of this air defense, we'll drop down a giant, drop down an Inferno Dragon. Those rocket balloons are flying on over from the spear thrower, and we are about to melt through the 6th dragon on this base on the first hit. This is no longer a Dragon Cliffs, it is a Cliffs, and we still have so many troops left. A rocket balloon while the air defense is distracted on my Inferno Dragon, and those rocket balloons are going to take out so many defenses. Oh my goodness. And then we even had one more Inferno Dragon since we were so efficient on our Inferno Dragons to where we can drop it down south, take out a cannon, take out a spear thrower, and oh man, look at this base. There's like nothing left after this first attack. This hit was so unfair. This was disgusting. This was absolutely filthy. I feel bad for this Dragon Cliffs. Even though this thing has terrorized us for months, I just feel bad. This was unethical what I just did to this base, and we are going to absolutely humiliate it on this hit with a ram to go ahead, test for some traps, and then some Lariat barrels to finish up this top Inferno Tower over here so we can drop our troops closer towards this top section over here and try to get towards this blast bow. I'm telling you, once a Dragon Cliffs has no more dragons left, I mean, it's a Cliffs. It's got nothing. It is a pushover of a base, and we are going to just rip this thing apart. One more Lariat barrel to finish off the spear thrower, and so we can open up the map so we can drop down a P.E.K.K.A and a ram to go up this top channel over here, and then a cannon cart to solo this bomb tower down south. Notice how I opened up the wall up high as I could to make sure the cannon cart takes an angle away from this Inferno Tower if possible, and then with some giants, we're going to go in after this Wizard Tower over here, and then towards the Inferno Tower, we are going to drop down 2 more Lariat barrels with all of these point defenses over here, and then we're going to use some giants to tank the blast bow as my P.E.K.K.A converges up the left side of the base, taking out all those point defenses with the help of those Larrys, and we are just converging on top of all of the defenses left on the base. And I said we were going to humiliate this Dragon Cliffs, and that's exactly what we're going to do. 2 heal spells on the river, zap spell on the river, so many troops still alive. That last poor blast bow does not know what to shoot. There is too much left on the map. We have troops left in the troop bar. This base is absolutely clapped. Alright, so this is the Dragon Cliffs we're going to be hitting, and man, it takes so long to find decent bases these days. I found so many default layouts before I could reach this one, so let's try to not mess up the recording this time. So let's take a look at this. So the first thing you want to be doing against the Dragon Cliffs is you want to locate where the dragons are and then determine whether you want to use Inferno Dragons or Archers. In this case, all the dragons are super spread out on the base, which means your Rages can't get much value with your Archers, and so the Inferno Dragons are definitely going to be the way to go. And now when you're using Inferno Dragons, the first thing you want to be doing is trying to look for any straggler dragons, sort of dragons near the outskirts of the base that are going to be a lot more accessible to burn down with those dragons. And you can see there are sort of 3 dragon posts located super internal inside the base, so those are going to be hard to reach, but these 3 along the outskirts, if we push up the left side of the base, we can reach them super easily outside of the fire of any air defenses. And then because you're using Inferno Dragons, you don't need your spells for your dragons. You can just use those spells as zaps. And so we're going to be zapping down these 3 posts in the middle, I think, and then from there we're going to try to work up the left side of the base. For this post over here that we're going to zap down, we're going to zap it down on the first attack, and I'm also going to try to get this air defense and spear thrower out of the deal because I figured that this air defense might be shooting at the dragon going for this post over here, so this is going to be a priority target for the first hit, as well as probably I would say this dragon post over here will be my other zap target because that one is further away and it's going to take a lot more time for the dragon to come over here. And on the first attack, you always have a ton of time to work with. So that's the plan, and this is the loadout that we're going to go with. We'll bring a couple of giants to help distract a couple of rams, a lot of rams to open up walls at least, and then some other troops to help distract the dragons as we try to burn through all that HP. We need a lot of rams because there's a lot of layers of walls, and those rams are also great for distracting the dragons. So let's just go in to this base. So we're going to start off with rams going up this left side over here. Because the spear thrower is located where it is, the rams should go for this triple layer of walls. I'm also going to hold off on my zaps for later because I want to anchor those dragons over here up the left side. You'll see in a moment. But we'll just drop down the rams like so, open up the walls, and try to get those barbarians to help deal with this spear thrower with the help of 1 super barbarian. And that should be enough to finish up all those buildings. And then once those barbs move up and start distracting that dragon, I will drop down a giant to help distract, and then a Inferno Dragon of my own to help burn through all that HP. Now, because my dragon's now fully ramped, it can now win that battle, so I don't have to commit any more resources. And then we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3. Or actually, those are level 5 posts. I actually can't zap down 2 of them on the first attack, but that's fine, that's fine. Okay, so we'll drop down a rocket balloon to help move that dragon over here. I actually didn't consider that that was a level 5 dragon post, but yeah, it takes 4 zaps to zap down a level 5 dragon post, so we can't even zap down that one on the first attack, but that's fine. We'll bring that dragon down south, and then we shall use those rams as an anchor for the dragon, and wait for that dragon to come on down. Then we'll drop another ram from a little farther away, so then we can just get an Inferno Dragon on top of that thing and just continuously distract and keep that dragon alive. If we can keep that dragon fully healthy, we can even use it for that next dragon over there, like so. So now we'll drop down a ram over there to distract, a rocket balloon to try to snipe that spear thrower. Didn't go the right way, but that's fine. Actually, I think the dragon doesn't win the fight because that's a high level super dragon. Yeah, we'll just wait for that dragon to sort of slow down and stop chasing some barbarians. So then we can drop the next dragon to burn through the rest of its HP. And then we'll have 1 Inferno Dragon left to deal with the last dragon over there. And we'll have some other troops to try to push into the base a little bit. Probably deal with this bottom side compartment. Like I said, I dealt with that air defense with the zap spell to make sure this dragon could burn through that high HP district hall without any problems. And then I'll also drop some other troops over there to help get that going as well. 1 pack of archers as well. We'll drop that there. And we'll drop our last giant. An Inferno Dragon like so. And barb to make sure that all goes to plan. Then we'll try to open up some walls over here for the next hit.
And also make sure we don't run into any issues with time. We only have 8 seconds left. Let's just finish up this cannon real fast so we can open up the map for deployment. But you can see when you use Inferno Dragons or the first hit against a Dragon Cliffs is almost always going to take the full 3 minutes. You want to take your time to make sure you get as much value out of all your troops as you can. Alright, so we have taken out a healthy chunk of that base on the first hit. Obviously, we didn't zap down this post like I thought we could. This is a max post. I didn't even consider that. And so we just need one more zap to zap this thing down, and then we can drag that dragon wherever we want. Then we'll have 6 spells, so I've decided to go with a rage and a heal spell. I can use some rage archers to push directly into this blast bow in Dragon Post from this air defense angle, as long as I take out this little small hut that's stopping me from deploying my troops in there. And then from there, we should be able to drag this dragon with the barb that I anchor on the small hut into the rage as well. And so that one rage is going to help me take out 2 dragons. Super good value. 8 packs of archers should be enough. And then we'll try to finish up with some hog raiders and one Larry barrel up this right side over here. 1 heal spell over a bomb tower, probably either this one or this one. We'll see. We'll play it by ear and try to take out the space in 1 more attack. So let's go. So we'll just drop down the rage beforehand so we don't have to think about where we drop it later. We'll drop it like right on top of the air defense. Try to get as deep as we can, and then we'll do 1 zap like so, and then pull this dragon on over with the barbarian like I said. We'll quickly finish off this air defense so we can start deploying our troops a little bit closer. And then that barbarian's kind of dragging the dragon outside of the rage now. We'll do 1, 2 packs of archers, 2, and then we'll drop the ram over here from this angle to make sure that the dragon doesn't start distracting my archers too early. And then we'll do 1, 2, 3 packs of archers, finish off that dragon, and hopefully it should go for that dragon post. Perfect. And then we'll have 2 more packs of archers to finish up the last bit of HP on that dragon. Drop this ram over here to start pulling it, and then we'll do 2 packs of archers like so. Then we'll do 1 ram to distract the Inferno Tower. Keep those archers alive a little bit if we can. And then we'll just use our Hog Glider abilities to make sure that we stun all those defenses as we go. We need to make sure we hold the heal a little bit because we only have 1. Oh, those Hog Raiders are actually going to go up. Interesting. And we'll just drop the heal spell over this Inferno Tower. Make sure that we try to deal with this bomb tower before the big group of our hogs get there. Hopefully those hogs are fast enough. Our hogs are sort of splitting in all different directions, but we'll just try to stun as many defenses as we can and just make sure that last bomb tower doesn't wreck our face. Those Larrys did a great job. Thankfully, I think those barbs from the last ram on the first attack pulled some of those traps over there, and so those Larrys got immense value. And so this base should be crushed. Our hogs are healthy enough to survive that last bomb tower, I think. Yep, a lot of them are super healthy, and then we'll have 2 barbs left for cleanup. So we took out this Dragon Cliffs with 6 dragons and maxed out Dragon Post, all spread out. This base is super annoying to take out, especially when the dragons are spread out like that, but when you use those Inferno Dragons super smartly, we even capped out on Capital Gold, oops, but when you use those Inferno Dragons properly, they can just do a great job at melting through those dragons' HP.
Alright, let's try to finish things up with 1 more Dragon Cliff so we can have 2 live attacks. This video has already gone on a little longer than I expected, so we will run through this one really fast. So, once again, these dragons are super spread out. This means Inferno Dragons are the way to go. Also, these Dragon Posts are lower level this time, which means we can actually zap 2 of them down on the first hit. Now, the only 2 dragons that are actually inside the base are these 2 over here, so we'll just zap these 2 down and try to work up the left side because all of these dragons are pretty darn exposed. This first one's kind of annoying to reach with these 2 air defenses, but I've actually cooked up a different plan. Because this cannon is touching this air defense and this cannon is touching this air defense, I'm actually going to go in with a super dragon and try to melt through this with the help of a Larry barrel and try to solo the dragon that way. And then everything else is the same. I will wait to actually do my zaps for when I break through the wall over here so I can anchor the dragons you'll see on this wall over here with the barbarian. But let's just go in and try to get this done. Starting off, we're going to go with a barbarian, like so, to clear the trash, open the way towards this compartment. And then we're going to do a ram, a Larry barrel, and then a super dragon. Actually, that dragon gets pulled by the barbarian. I thought that might happen, but I wasn't going to count on it. Now, we have to make sure that our dragon wins the interaction, so I'm actually going to use a couple balloons to make sure that the air defense actually goes down. Somehow those balloons got splashed by the dragon breath, so we had to drop one more, but that's fine. And then we have taken out the first dragon, and then for the next one, we'll just wait for that dragon to melt through those trash buildings, and then it'll just die. I won't try to protect it or anything, and I'll let those barbarians try to pull those other dragons forward. I'll do 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, because we'll do 4 on the side where we can get the spear thrower out of the deal. And those barbarians from those rams are now going to be able to pull those dragons over. Now, I waited on that zap because I want to anchor those dragons on this wall, like I said, and so we can use Inferno Dragons on them, and then those Inferno Dragons can hopefully stay alive and go after those next 2 dragons that aren't being covered by air defenses. So we actually have to kill this little barracks real fast to make sure that... hold on. We need to kill this barracks because those dragons are being kind of annoying. Okay, one more is good. And then we anchor those dragons over here with that barbarian on the wall. And then we shall do 2 Inferno Dragons. Once that barbarian dies, we'll drop down a ram. And then just have those rams distract that dragon and try to make sure that we don't have to use too many Inferno Dragons. Then we'll drop down. All those dragons are getting pulled at the same time. We'll drop down a rocket balloon, like so. And then some more barbarians to help distract those Inferno Dragons. 3 Inferno Dragons can melt through those enemy supers so fast. So that is 5 Super Dragons down already. Can we get a 6th one on the first attack? Can we make this a Cliffs? We just have to open up that wall. We have a giant left to take care of that dragon. We just have to make sure we don't mess up. Inferno Dragons can be really tricky. But if we're patient and wait for that dragon to fly as close as possible before dropping our giant in, we'll drop that giant in, and then, oh my goodness, we have turned this into a Cliffs once again. Now, this base has more defenses left than on the first base, but we are still going to be able to absolutely crush this Dragon Cliffs on the second hit. I'm telling you, if you can kill all the dragons on the first hit, it doesn't matter what defenses are left, the second hit can be extremely easy as long as you're not trying to swag all your spells. So we are looking fantastic for this finishing blow. Alright, so at this point, this space should be an easy wrap. Let's just try to cook up an army real fast, 2 heal spells, because we can use all of our spells on our hogs. We'll have a lot of hogs. Now, I will drop down a rocket balloon on top of the spear thrower, try to make sure it takes out the bomb tower and cannon. I think it's out of range of the air defense. If it's not, I'll also have a pack of minions, just in case. We want to try to take out that bomb tower before our hogs get there, and then we will use a giant to tank the blast bow on top of the spear thrower. We'll start our hogs on these 3 defenses, let them work their way down before getting into blast bow fire, and then I'll try to do my heals over top of the bomb tower, inferno tower sections, because those have a lot of HP. So we'll also have a couple of ramps to help distract, and we'll just have tons of hogs. This should be an easy kill on this base. Let's just get this done real fast. 1 barbarian as well to clear some trash in behind, and then we'll just, like I said, start with our hogs on this top spear thrower. Make sure it doesn't go towards this bottom spear thrower. Try to open up the screen, zoom in as far as we can. 2, 3. 3 hogs should be enough to take that all out. Pretty low level defenses, and then once it works its way towards the air defense, we'll drop down our giant to tank a hog on top of that spear thrower, and then a rocket balloon to take out the bomb tower. And then we'll just drop down some more hog raiders to support, because we don't have a really great angle to try to get them anywhere else. And then we will do a heal over top the bomb tower section, like so. A lot of HP. My hogs are going to be standing there for a very long time. And we'll have 2 more hog gliders for the back side of the base. Actually, that heal is a little bit misplaced. It should have been farther in, but we have so many hogs left, man. This base is in so much trouble. And then we'll have
2 Hog Gliders for the backside of the base, and I'm trying to swag this last heal if we can. It looks like we will be able to just zap that like so, and drop the heal spell on the river with tons of hogs remaining. I'm telling you, if you can get a Dragon Cliffs to no dragons on your first attack, it's just an easy wrap. So many hogs left, heal spell on the river, this base is smashed. Those Inferno Dragons can be really tricky to use because you have to provide them some tanking for those first couple of seconds as they ramp up. But if you're able to do so and they can easily take out those dragons for 15 camp space, you are going to be looking solid against these super spread out Dragon Cliffs. Alright, that will be all for today. When you go up against those annoying spread out Dragon Cliffs, make sure you have a plan for each of those dragons and try to find some posts that are on the outside which are easier to pick off with your Inferno Dragons. Those Inferno Dragons are a little tricky to use because you have to tank for them as they ramp up, but once you get the hang of them, they are pretty fun to use. But make sure you join the Discord server if you haven't already, link in the description below. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed today's video, and take care.